the needs of the market, that they can bring the revenue in quickly enough. Just because you can build it doesn't mean it's going to pay for it. And especially out in the startup world, less than the enterprise world, that's, when I sit down with people and talk to them about their business model, that's the piece they're missing. They've got a great idea, they know how they can build it, they know how they're going to support it, they can compare why it's going to be so much better because it's cloud as opposed to not cloud, and they haven't really thought through the whole piece of how they're going to drive themselves and get it cost effective.
Some things never change, do they?
It's just the same as anything else.
Questions out there? There's one. Let's see.
There was just recently a break-in at Twitter that brought a lot of attention to cloud computing and the fact that people were using common applications like Google Docs in their personal accounts, and therefore if you were able to hack their personal account, you were able to get to some key documents. To what extent do those security issues represent an impediment to cloud computing really exploding?
Thank you for that question. Everybody here?
It's another critical underpinning. I mean, if you make the premise that we're going to put this on a big network, it has to be secure. And there are certainly ways to do that. But with Darkstrand, we have a pretty unique viewpoint in that we deal with our nation's laboratories. So we're dealing with Human Genome Project, Joint Strike Fighter, DoD, DOE type applications where there is strict security restrictions on that.
Right, but everybody who has a cloud service or who has a cloud infrastructure product says they're secure, and then something like this happens and it sets the whole market back. Sure. So how do we move beyond that? What are the issues that need to be fixed?
I think it's not ultimately a technology problem. I have no doubt that Amazon's web service is highly secure, and it ultimately comes down to, like many security issues, the user behavior, user controls, and I would guess that if Twitter were running all of its applications internally and a hacker decided they wanted to get them, given what I read about the security practices there, they would have gotten them. So, it's not just, security is not just a cloud and infrastructure and, you throw a lot of technology at it. It goes to how you actually instantiate that technology into policies and procedures that people actually follow, and that unfortunately is always easier said than done. And been an issue that's marked the industry for years now, but there's no doubt that when that happens, that is a black eye for people thinking that they can run all their applications in a hosted manner.
And ultimately, you're a journalist. Ultimately, how much of that story is about Twitter and the cloud? Would it have been as interesting story to write about if it was some VP of marketing for a washing machines parts manufacturing company who left his laptop in an airport bar?
For me, no, but but that's to your point. I mean, data gets stolen. There's always the human engineering or the social engineering factor to that. I guess not to belabor the point, but the issue is that this is seen as a black mark on hosted cloud computing, even though perhaps it isn't.
No, Rafe, no, it absolutely is. And perception is reality. If you work in marketing, that's marketing rule number one. And the number one, in fact, the only notes I had for this was kind of, there was a survey done of what are the number one impediments from enterprise adoption of cloud computing. At the very top, in this particular survey, I think it was from IDC, 3/4 of the enterprise people that responded to it said security is their number one hesitation for going to the cloud. And that applies at all levels, whether it be a public cloud, where clearly when we hear news like this, it absolutely does set things back, all the way to even, maybe you have a cloud that's shared at a consortium. The risks are real. I personally don't think any of the clouds on the market today are particularly secure. I think that's yet another area where there's a lot of work that has to be done. I fully agree it's not just technology, there's a whole social side. But that said, look at cloud just like any other early market, whether it was the internet we talked about earlier. In fact, you can argue Linux was the same way. It's good enough for a lot of things today, and it will only get better. People will focus on improving security. People will focus on bringing that confidence that consumers of the cloud are going to need. And really, it's just the beginning. So yeah, it's a setback, but it's one that we'll work through just like in any other space.
So that is a given, what was just said. Should I go with the doctor that is putting his whole practice on the cloud, number one? And number two, I disagree with what you just said. I think when was running the web, that it was pretty doggone secure, but then not a lot of people knew about it, and there wasn't an engine to access all this information. So shouldn't we be thinking about a different type of cloud for that type of information that is mission critical, like your health, versus, you know, the washing machine manufacturers part?
Are there
Please
any...
address this.
Are there any HIPAA compliant clouds out there? We discussed this earlier. Thanks for that interesting question.
They're not. There are SaaS-based electronic health record companies that have convinced their end physician customers that they can run those applications in a secure HIPAA-compliant way. I would again venture to guess that it may be just as easy to break into your doctor's office and steal all the paper records as it would be to break into their SaaS-based electronic health record and get all the records. So ultimately, again, I don't think there's a perfect security solution. But as you, again, I think perception is reality, and people in particular when it comes to health issues are highly concerned, and so it will remain an area of high sensitivity, and that will, I think, slow the adoption of cloud-based services in the healthcare setting, certainly.
I wonder how many people know how their physicians and their medical, their hospitals, whatever, actually keep their records. I'd probably be like watching sausages get made. I'm terrified as to know how our records are kept, just a guess. At any rate.
I just want to,
Yeah, please.
just to add on to that. It is not just a matter of how they keep the records in the data center either. It's what do these physicians do with the data on their desktop. So we're talking about security of the information in the back room, but what about their desktops? And so the idea here is that the cloud computing idea offers you the ability to manage people's desktops remotely and keep giving them the security of their data on the desktop, and that is also very, very important.
Okay. Yes.
Not only did I used to run a medical office when my husband was practicing, and I can tell you that paper records go from the fax machine to the floor, into the file folder where they are misplaced in somebody else's record. And I helped a medical practice deploy electronic health records to just get around that particular issue. But in Arizona right now, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services is doing a pilot program with putting Medicare recipients on electronic health records, and one of the providers to that program is Google Health. So this is going to be a very interesting issue because there are going to be a whole bunch of people on a, public, basically a free public cloud.
And they will be scared.
Sounds like cloud and healthcare would be a good thing for next year.
That's right. What's that take?
Sounds like cloud and healthcare would be a good thing for next year.
Yeah.
I'm really concerned about that because if you think about how Google makes their money, which is based on mining your data and serving you ads, and now they get all your medical records.
Well, that's one of the things that the Center for Medicaid and CNET cares about. What they want to do is use the power of Google to mine data to get at public health conclusions to create effective outcome studies.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Moving on. Topics over here. Yes.
Sorry, just to follow on that health topic, not to get stuck in it, but I think it's an interesting analogy for a lot of the other bigger questions. And I'd like to throw something out there and get your guys' reaction to it, because I do think it's telling about the rest of the security concerns. And my view is, as a user of the internet and someone who does internet transactions, I'm not worried about someone physically stealing my medical records and frankly giving a damn what's in my medical records. I'm worried about my insurance company using my medical records against me. So I think the security problems in the healthcare industry, maybe are a tweak on what you see elsewhere. It's also one of the few industries where you have so many regulations and so much truly personal data that comes from you. It's not from the credit card company, and there's no sort of intermediary. So I don't know. I'd just like you guys to react to that, kind of compare and contrast, because I think it's an interesting challenge.
Before they react, that's an interesting point. These guys are all arms dealers. Do you care about what happens to the data?
lots of